Thank you for watching this Last Mile Profits video.
What have seagulls got to do with the Royal Mail? If you're interested, keep watching and find out more.
Last Mile Profits is brought to you by Parcel Pending by Quadient.
Gary, I thought we'd have a bit of fun today and we'd talk about seagulls. Do you know why we were talking about seagulls today?
Yeah, we had a little exchange over LinkedIn on it when the story was sort of live, as it were. But this is the story of Royal Mail postmen unable to deliver mail because of seagull attacks.
So I've heard the stories of Rottweilers, of unhappy husbands, but I've not heard about seagulls. Do you have any background at all to this?
Well, only the fact it's a well-established fact that, and this is a serious part. Unfortunately, there are lots of dog attacks on postmen, probably in every country, but particularly in the UK, where they keep stats on it and they take good care of it. But something like 5,000 dog-related attack incidents every year on postmen, which is just not right. You know, when I've been out driving as a postman doing strike duty, that when you reach down for the handbrake, you normally find your hand going into a box of Win-A-Lot, dog biscuits, to throw into front gardens to distract the dog before you go to the front door. So genuinely, this is something that touches postmen's lives every year. But I'm nervous that seagull attacks could go the way of leaves on the line for British Rail. It doesn't seem quite as feasible.
But I like that. That shows just how smart and forward-thinking you are. The dog food in the cat. I really like that. That's very, very clever. But look, as you said, that there is something serious behind this, because I'm not entirely convinced that other than a fairly unpleasant feeling on your head, which I, by the way, had at my apartment on the coast in Spain recently from a seagull, but I'm not convinced it's quite as dangerous as a dog attack. But, there is something
behind it.
Unless
you're eating chips at the same time, Marek. I mean, that's the other big danger. If you are doing your post round, you've got special delivery in one hand and you've got Saveloy chips in the other, then I think you are putting yourself in potential harm's way.
Well, yeah, but look, let's again get down to the serious side of it, because there is, as you mentioned, there's a big issue with attacks. Out of interest, have you heard of anything other than dogs? Because, there are people that decide that a zoo is not the place for a wild animal. Have you heard of any others?
Have you ever had a couple of drinks and played the game Florida Man? Have you heard of the game Florida Man?
Well, I have now. So tell me about Florida Man.
So the game of Florida Man is really simple. What you do is you have a couple of drinks, you get your phone out, you go into Google, other search engines are available, and you type in Florida Man followed by your birth date, and then you read the first headline that comes up. And it is normally hilarious that some hapless male resident in Florida, so you get the newspaper, you get the Florida Times, the 31st of March, and it comes up and you read these ridiculous news stories. There is a similar one where Florida man discovers alligator in the post office. So, of course, everything is bigger and better in the States. We've got seagulls and chihuahuas. They've got alligators in the post office.
Oh, well, that's a completely different scale of things. I sort of, the thought that I put my hand into a post bag and an alligator nabs it is a little bit worrying.
Yeah, this is yet another reason why lockers outside is a good idea. I don't really want to go in anywhere where there might be an alligator on the patrol. And obviously my items are not going to be alligator damaged if I've had it delivered safely to a locker.
Well, but look, again, I'm going to try and keep this as serious as I can.
I'm going to try and not let you carry on.
What can we do about it? The reality is, I think it is, incumbent upon the owner of a property to ensure that the posties or other service providers are safe. And I'm not sure how it works, but I would assume, Gary, that, if someone's dog bites off a postie's hand or finger or any other body part, then, they're responsible criminally in the way they would be if they did it themselves.
Well, it is the householder's responsibility to make sure that a pet is kept under control, and you addresses where there has been incidents or the potential for incidents with a dangerous animal are marked on the post office, on their database. They do have records of it, but it shouldn't even come to that, really. If you're keeping a dangerous pet, you should be getting it trained. You should be doing something about it in general, postman or not. But again, I quite agree. Everybody has the right to go about their work in a safe environment, and we all have our role to play in making this a safe environment. It's not like Royal Mail are new. They've been going for over 500 years. It's not like dog ownership are new. I believe they were domesticated something between 8,000 and 10,000 years ago. So by now we should have kind of worked out a way for a guy to get from the front gate to the front door and put a letter through a letterbox without the potential for somebody pulling his leg off.
So, Gary, I think here we have it. Please, pet owners, particularly large and aggressive pet owners, mind your pets. Try to keep the body parts of your postie or other service provider safe. Alternatively, if you really don't think you can do that, then Gary, you said it, use a parcel locker or Pudo, and then everyone's happy. I hope everyone's enjoyed this slightly tongue-in-cheek episode. But what I think, Gary, it would be great if people below could share any stories they've got, or even better videos. I'm not sure we'll beat the alligator story, or the seagulls for that matter.
Well, ironically, the only time I actually got a tiny injury out delivering mail was from the letterbox itself. Somebody had a very oversprung flap, if you can say that on primetime TV. The spring back of a very, very aggressive letterbox caught my finger. Now, again, I don't think we need legislation to deal with this, but let's be careful out there.
So, dear viewers, watch your oversprung flaps, your dogs, your alligators, and your seagulls. Please share with us any funny stories that you might have on this topic. And if you've enjoyed this slightly unusual video, please press like and comment. And of course, if you subscribe, we'll be delighted because it helps us keep these videos free for you. Gary, this was real fun. Thanks.